Equal time of the goddess.
Well, blessed Yuletide to each and every one of you. I'm honored.
Get closer to the mic, please.
I'm honored to share a little bit about the goddess tradition and Yule. The reason I practice the goddess tradition is because I'm in feminine form. In Genesis it says that God made us in the image of, we are in the image of Him, her. And since I'm feminine, I connect to a divine deity and not a masculine deity. So it is nothing about that there isn't a God essence. It's just that in this form, the connection I make is with something that's feminine. So out of that, there's been a tradition for centuries of honoring a female deity. Way before the patriarchy, way before Christianity, the matriarchy was how the cultures were set up. Recognizing, probably beyond understanding, that a woman created a life. They didn't know how or why, but wow, if that happens, she must be special. So that probably is how it came about. So Yule is the Celtic celebration of the winter solstice, and it lasts for 13 days and 12 nights. And it starts on the eve of winter solstice. So today is the first day of Yule, and it'll go to January 6th.
And my true love sends me a...
Right. And think about it, it's like if you're in the countryside or if you want to gather with community, doing it all in one day kind of is a crazy-making kind of idea, wouldn't you think?
Totally.
Yeah. So having 13 days kind of makes sense. You get the opportunity. And we were talking about this last night in Circle. Why 13? Well, 13 is a sacred number because 13 moons in a year, 13 times we bleed in a year. But the other idea came out of that it takes a while for us to recognize the light is returning. So tomorrow is not going to be that noticeable. But in 2 weeks, in 13 days, there will probably be a recognition of, oh, it is a little lighter today. It's not as dark when I'm driving home. So the idea that maybe it took that long to really believe the sun was going to return. Because in times of old, there was no electricity. If you lived in northern Scandinavia, you only had 6 hours of daylight. And so when solstice came, there was maybe, is the light going to return, or is it going to just keep getting darker and darker? Is this the end? So coming together and being in community was a way, one, to share the stores you had, to kind of honor, okay, we've made it this far, we can make it the rest of the way. And the other was to come in community. So there are several significant things about Yule, the 13 days of celebration, and the symbols that go with that. But before I go there, I wanted to just share that in the goddess tradition, we see this time, just as the Druids, a time of introspection, a time of dream time, a time of quiet and stillness. This whole crazy that modern society has made creates a lot of discord, creates a lot of, why there can be so much depression this time of year. It's like you're fighting against nature, your own inner nature and nature itself. So how we see it is that the crone of Samhain has died, as all things must, so new life can begin. And when that actually happens is not defined, but up until today, there's been this void, this space of total undefinedness. And today begins, well, actually tomorrow at 8, when's solstice? I have it, 8:49. 8:49 tomorrow is when solstice happens. PM.
Yeah.
And at that moment, the spark of life begins renewed in the pregnancy of the life on the planet and the pregnancy of the goddess. And then at Candlemas, she will be born an infant girl. So this time between now and February 2nd is all about pregnancy. It's all about potential. It's all about what hasn't been defined yet, which then gets us to the little packages. The idea that something is undefined, it's covered, you don't know what's inside. This significance, this magic that exists in our life's experience, it's like if we allow to align with Gaia, to align with all that nature is saying, to be still and allow for the potential that has not yet been defined to become clear to you. That's the magic of the season. And that's the magic that allows us to take in a new year in a new way, with new ideas, new potential. But if we never make the time for the stillness to allow for the message, then we miss out. And we miss out in a big way. So this idea of looking at Gaia as our mirror, and she says it's time to let go of extraneous stuff, pull in our energy like the trees do and the leaves fall away, because it's time to be still and to dream and to listen. So pregnancy is a big deal. And I just was gifted this little pregnant goddess today. Blessed be. So allowing for yourself during this time, make space. Maybe it's coming to the meditation on the 31st at 4 a.m. with us here.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
But making time, just sitting and watching the rain run down your windshield. Maybe you don't get out of the car so quickly. Maybe you sit and listen. But the magic of what that can bring, insight comes when we quiet the chatter in our brain, in our heads, you know, the monkey mind. Divine can come through. So I encourage you to really consider the package, the magic that's yet to come for you in this season. I also wanted to just share a little bit about some of the sacred symbols or the magical properties or attributes of so much of what's used at this time of year. The five-pointed star, that's us. That's us. We are her and she is us. We are Gaia, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. So everywhere you look at this time of year, the pagan symbol of the five-pointed star with the point up for spirit is around you, remembering and reminding you of the magic of how we are connected to Gaia. We are it all, and she is us. So the other symbol that's a lot...
Look at light.
Yes! Yay!
You got the star.
The other symbol is the holly, the holly and the ivy. It was so important that when things got so dark and dreary, that life continued in the evergreen. And that was such a significant, it gave hope. Hope, that's what the season is about. It's hope. Okay, the light really will come back. The sun will really warm up the earth, and there will be plants growing.
Hallelujah.
And we will have heat in the building, right? So bringing in an evergreen and green boughs into your home wasn't just for the hell of it. It wasn't just because it was pretty. It was because there was this desire to bring nature in and protect nature and protect the wood spirits and the nature spirits. Give them a place that's warm and safe for the winter. Because the hope was that if they were warm and safe in the winter, then the fall, and then the spring and summer and fall, they would give back to us. Like, where'd it go? My apple.
Your apple.
Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. Like the apple. This is a sacred fruit. And it's not a sacred fruit because Eve ate it with Adam and all that thing. This is a sacred fruit because when you cut an apple in half, it creates a pentagram. Now the pentagram is made of the golden proportion. It's a huge, before mathematicians could explain it, the divine gave the message to the people that this is the divine symbol. And so the apple tree was really deeply honored, and that's where the song, the wassailing, comes from. Right. So honoring the wood spirits, honoring nature, bringing in trees and decorating them. There was the Yule tree was really the first Christmas tree. This whole idea of what this has become came out of bringing nature in and honoring it so that nature then would feed and nurture us as humans. So I wanted to end with just a magic poem. Winter solstice turns the wheel to sun's returning light as friends and family gather close invoking ancient rites. Evergreens stand tall and stand proud and tall with tinsel bells and bows, and holly wreaths with berries red are hung with mistletoe. Moonlight gleams as goddess dreams beneath white drifts of snow. Stars on high in blackened skies cast silver mystic glow. Carols ring as songs redeem in resting smoothing flow. Chilly storms keep fires aglow as seeds gestate below. Flickering candles dance and twist near gleaming wands and chalice. Winds of change and magic rise to sweep the earth of malice. The time is right to send goodwill to those we love and know, as metamorphosis claims the earth and rebirth claims our souls. Blessed be. So you want me to do the bells, or how do you want to do them?
Bells?
We'll pass
We
the
have-
basket when we get the bells.
Okay, good.
Bills?
And so right now, we're going to pass the basket.
I've got two here.
Oh, God, it was beautiful.
Okay. Courtney, we need our song, please.
Or keep passing out bells.
Somebody else can pass the bells.
What do you need?
Song for a donation.